Hey guys, Dr. Drunk aka here, in a game in my Musashi. And of course, in chat you see Spawnpeek Div. If we look at our team composition, I'm here with my buddy 5-Star Mojo and Westo454. We're in our Musashis and Westo, or 5-Star, excuse me, is in his Graf Zeppelin. So if you guys have seen Euro recently, you know what we're about to do. Graf Zeppelin and 2 range mod spotter plane Musashis, which can basically seek and destroy the CV. Somebody on our team notes it and says it in our team chat that, yep, Spawnpeek Div in the house. So, the unfortunate thing that's about to happen is our Shimakaze decides to throw us all under the bus. So got the cancer cure over here. And of course, that means somebody else is going to pile on. Someone watched Euro lately. Thanks a lot, Georgia. Now the Edinburgh. LMAO, the Spawnpeek Div. Somebody else, LOL, on the other side. Thanks a lot, guys. Spawnpeek Div really relies on the enemy CV and the rest of the team not looking at the lineups here and not looking at what's about to hit them. But I digress. The only sad part about this is, well, number one, there's a fair bit of AA. The Spawnpeek Div got called out, so suddenly the Georgia turns around to offer AA support, and 5-Star's planes all get shot down, so we have no spotting. Well, well played, GG's. WP, GG. The other problem here, as you'll see in just a minute, that's an Indomitable, and that basically means that an armored flight deck will just bounce shells. GG, well played. So at this point, I'm thinking, and we're talking in chat, going, well, shit, this isn't going to work so well. So, what are we going to do instead? Well, I'm in a Musashi. And what do you need to know about the Musashi? Well, the Musashi is basically a Yamato. It's basically a Yamato that is, quote, less accurate. You can't see the spawn, or the air quotes that I'm doing here. But it's basically a Yamato that is less accurate and down-tiered 1 tier. Obviously it's tier 9, the Yamato is tier 10. So, what does the Yamato bring to the table? The Musashi does not. Well, it has better Sigma. It actually has a lot, well, to be honest, it has a lot better AA, which will come into play in this game. Secondaries are not quite nearly as good on the Musashi either. But all of that, I digress. There comes the rocket planes from the Indomitable, and yes, Indomitable rocket planes hurt. They hurt a fair bit. And they did set me on fire. The Indomitable is spotted. He is making Billy Big steps for the back corner of the map, and he's wiggling his ass. That's a tough shot at 30 kilometers. So, very, very iffy as to how effective that shot's going to be. And of course, since he can turn away at the time, look how long it takes those shells to fall in. And especially since he can actually turn away and maneuver, all of those shells are going to fall with no hits. So at this point, in chat, we're saying, well, we suck. We failed the Spawnpeek. How the hell do we do that? In the meantime, I spot a Venezia. I spot a broadside Venezia, who just came out of his smoke and is not moving. And is now dead. 3 Citadels, devastating strike, as our Moskva, or their Moskva takes out our Des Moines, and we are even on ships and on hit points. 1 radar cruiser for a super speedy Venezia. I'll take that trade. Jean-Bar pokes his nose out, and that's a pretty juicy target. Unfortunately, it's a Jean-Bar, and he's able to accelerate behind that island. Still, 3 pens and an overpen results in about 12,000 damage because Musashi shells are about the size of a small SUV. Now, oddly enough, with my giant 16-kilometer detection range, I am unspotted at this point, even though I'm burning. Tells me that the DD has decided, nope, I don't want any part of this. He's fucked off and left BCAP. We're potentially hiding behind the island. The Georgia's not pushing in. The Iowa is dodging torpedoes. The Moskva is outside my detection range. The DD in C now spots me for the Georgia, who basically dropped shells on my superstructure, and I could care less. So I spot a broadside Iowa. Take shots out on the Iowa. And here comes the CV again. He's looking for a little bit of revenge, because that's what CVs do when you try to spawn peek them. The Iowa continues to potato, and I get out potatoed as he just continues to back up. Yeah. I've always said that good players are predictable, and you can play around good players because they are predictable. Bad players, potato players, are not predictable, and it's tough to play around unpredictable players. He continues to back up. RNG does not favor me. There's that famous poor quality Musashi dispersion, and I only get about 1,200 damage. It's about this time we start losing ships. We lose a Zhao and a Drake in pretty quick succession. Of course, that Drake was the one that basically gave away our intentions to the enemy team, so good. I'm glad he's dead. He deserves it. This Iowa, again, decides, well, I got lucky twice. Let's see if I can get lucky again. And somehow, potato armor holds, and he does get lucky again. 3,000 damage. We leave him about 3,100 hit points, and he starts healing. At this point, I realize that there's really nothing except battleships in front of me. I need to re-angle against the Georgia, the North Carolina, the Iowa, the other Georgia, the Azuma, the Moskva, and pretty much everything else on that side of the map. So I back up a little bit, and I start turning forward. 8,200 points of damage on that North Carolina. And we've chalked up a cool 73k. About 7.5 minutes into the match. However, we're down 2 ships at this point. We are down 2 caps to 1, and they're actually capping the 3rd. North Carolina, well, he gets deleted by torpedoes, so that was a wasted salvo. And I realized in front of me I have a Cleveland and I have a Georgia. And there's a Shima somewhere in front of me too. So, best thing that I can do at this point is place my side up against this rock. Try to protect my left side here as I engage all of these ships and try to angle onto all of these ships in front of me. I see the Azuma. The Azuma is broadside. I don't know what is he doing. Stoplight says that he's coming and going. He's slowly moving forward. He's not moving forward. Again, predictable players are easy to play around. Drop a Citadel on him for 23,000 points of damage. Citadel and a couple of pens, and here comes the CV again. Thankfully, between the Vladivostok's AA and my own, we are able to knock him out. The Georgia's making a full turn around. Now, they've not tried to cap A again. There's 3 ships that are pushing. They've not tried to cap A. And suddenly, radar pops up. Well, that would assume that the Cleveland is within 9 kilometers, and sure enough, 12 high explosive shells appear over the island. We're going to assume the Cleveland is right behind there. Georgia takes a Citadel. I'm like Oprah for Citadels right now. You get a Citadel, you get a Citadel, you get a Citadel. Everybody gets a Citadel. And we look to find, oh shit, there's a Shimakaze in front of us. And there's a Georgia on our right side. And there's a Cleveland right behind the rock. Cleveland's moving. Thank you for the indicator wargaming. I really appreciate that you didn't give me that earlier. For some reason, the Cleveland switches to AP. I don't quite know why. But okay. Honestly, I would prefer he does switch to AP because Musashi gives 0 shits about the AP. The fire does really more damage, and the high explosive damage is a lot worse. Shells out on the Georgia. I have to aim a little bit high. But they do fall in for a Citadel, another 22,000 points of damage. And at this point, about 10 minutes in, we're at 138,000 points of damage. Only one kill, though. We managed to pull back a couple of kills here, but we are still down 4 ships to 3, and we're still down 2 caps to none, and our third cap is being... Our only cap is being taken by the Reds. And the Georgia and the Rune are running away from that side. The Shimakaze's hiding behind a rock. Well, we can try and even this up. The Azuma, again, we only get 2 overpens on his nose. Not quite what I was expecting. I was expecting him to continue and not turn in, but again, good players you can predict. Bad players you can't. So, what do we deal with now? The Vladivostok is burned down by the Indomitable. The CV is taking his revenge. We have an Azuma. We have a Georgia. Another Georgia. A Cleveland. And a Shimakaze. This does not look good. Thankfully, the Azuma is shooting AP at my bow. The Georgia deletes the Azuma. That makes my life a lot easier. And the Shima's Torp's turn. Their Georgia, who I've already chunked for a Citadel, broadside, lets me knock another 12-5 off of him. My biggest concerning and most pressing problem is the Georgia that's about to push out in front of me. For some reason, maybe the fact that there's a Shimakaze in front of him, he comes out broadside in front of me. Now I'm looking at the minimap going, oh shit, there's a Shima behind me. Guns loaded. Elevate because he's going to turn out. And RNG trolls me. 3 pens and an overpen for 10,000. No Citadel love. And now I have a Shimakaze pushing up behind me. I have 2 Georges in front of me, which I'm face tanking. I have a Cleveland in front of me, which I'm going to have to face tank shortly. And things are looking bleak because here comes the CV, looking for some revenge again. My guns are loaded. I'm going to hold my shot because I'm wondering what these 2 are about to do. And sure enough, there's a little smooth Georgia lovin' going on right here. So, pick on the Georgia, which shows the most side to me. I get 3 overpens for 14,000. Don't know where the Shima is right now. Don't know where Cleveland is right now. I'm taking an utter beating from these Georgia secondaries. But at this point, I really do not have an option because that Shimakaze is going to come up behind me and torpedo the shit out of me. And I really don't want torpedoes up my ass. Torpedoes from our carrier, it looks like, as that Georgia shows broadside, and again, dispersion, haha. Musashi dispersion trolls me, and I get 2 overpens. Thankfully, the Georgia shoots AP into my bow, misses the cheek. We dunk our rear turret into his Citadel, leave him on 4K. Our front turrets will be loaded up since he blew the drive-by. Again, Georgia tries to dump front turrets into my front turrets. And, oh no, Shima, no, why did you do this? Why do you do this? Try to break his guns. Can't break his guns. Knock him down, but Shima Torps finished the job, and oh my god, am I gonna die to this? No, Shima, I need to live. Westo kills the St. Louis. Shimakaze torpedoes Westo, which explains that he's gone somewhere else. He's looking somewhere else. He's not looking at me. Wait a minute. So the Shima was all the way over on the other side. So I don't have a destroyer to worry about. Georgia kills the Cleveland, puts him out of the game. There's the piggy. Nothing better than killing a piggy as he comes to take his revenge on me. And ouch, Moskva 8P hurts. I'm out of heals. My damage control is on cooldown. Let's see if I can do what I set out to do in the first place. Shots out on the Indomitable. That's a Citadel. And of course, the Indomitable is running Andrew Cunningham. So, I'm not sure what he just procced, but you just saw the blue flare go off. So, maybe it's setting fires, maybe it's Witherer, I'm not sure. Indomitable angling away. Remember that armored flight deck, that big thick armored belt. Well, at 10k. Musashi don't give a fuck. 2 Citadels. Oprah's giving a few more out. That is a dead Indomitable, and I have done what I came to do. Now if we can just shoot down those last rocket planes and make something of the last 3,000 hit points that I have, maybe we'll be in for good luck. The Moskva misses most of his shells. We bounce the rest of them. Set on fire. I am dead, but I do have time to get shells out on that Moskva. And 4 Citadels under the rear turret. Dev Strike, Confederate, and I go to the bottom. He does get a flesh wound out of it, and actually that was the carrier that got a flesh wound, and he got an arsonist, because that was me that he burned down. Now, we are up 10 ships to 9. We're down 800 points to 550 points. We are capping the B cap. Our CV is dead. Their CV is dead. Our rune is out of the fight. He's not going to be able to do anything at this point. It's going to be up to the Georgia and the Shimakaze to try and pull this one out. The Jean Bar manages to pull out high caliber. So we know the Jean Bar is not an idiot. The only thing we can do, now in chat, in Discord chat, Westo and 5-Star and I are going, geez, I don't know, we have a chance of winning this. We have 3.5 minutes. We have 2 caps. We get 36 points per cap per minute. Now, 36 points per cap per minute. That's more than 100 points. In fact, that's 108 points for 1 cap. Doesn't put us close enough, because they have a cap that's ticking over. Georgia fires on the Jean Bar, and we're figuring, well, all right, if this Georgia can kill the Jean Bar, that'll deduct enough points that we should have a shot at this. We should have a chance at winning this. Because let's face it, if we look at the actual scoreboard, losing a battleship is 60 points. Plus 40 for us. So minus 60 for them, plus 40 for us. That'd be 800 points to, well, now it's all academic, because now it's 590 to 900. Shima gets into the cap, at least stops their points gain. However, his torpedoes miss. One specific thing you're going to note. 2 racks of his torpedoes missed. At this point, we're thinking, oh my god, the Shima has a chance here. Shima absolutely has a chance at this. All he has to do is torpedo the Jean Bar. And of course, in Discord chat, we're all saying, well, he's got to fucking hurry up and torpedo the Jean Bar. Because we're kind of running out of time. We have 1.5 minutes left in the game. We're even on ships. We're down by 250 points at this point. And yes, we are gaining points quickly. And again, 36 points per cap per minute. We have the capability of gaining about 108 points. 108 points from now, that's only 800 points. It's only 808 points. We have to kill this JB. Shima, it's now or never, buddy. Bring it on, man. It's now or never. Killing the Jean Bar will give us 40 more points, deduct 60 from them, and then it becomes academic. It becomes a math problem. Do we win? Oh, no. The Jean Bar has AP loaded. The Jean Bar has AP loaded of all the things. He knows there's a destroyer there, and he loads AP. The Shima comes through. 3rd rack of torps. Jean Bar decides he's got to catch them all. He's got to play Pokemon and catch them all. Now we sit here and we wonder, 26 seconds. Do we have enough time? If you look at the score timers at the top, they're ticking back and forth with each tick of the points. So the solid color in that diamond is who has the lead at this time, who has the win. It's ticking back and forth. 10 seconds on the board. 9, 8. And in this point in chat, we're going, we lose. We lose. Oh my God, we're going to lose. Yep, we lose it. We lose it. We lose it. Last second, points tick over, and 8:45 to 8:44 for the win. When all is said and done, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Victory on the last tick of the clock. We did 303,561 points of damage, 72 shell hits, 3 kills, 14 citadels. And that astronomical damage point, well, of course, we also 1.16 million credits. That was good enough for 2,998 base XP at the top of the team. And it's worth pointing out, that was my first game in the Musashi. So yeah. Guys, we do play all these live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DRDRUNK, that's Dr. Drunk, AKA. Check it out. Dr. Drunk, AKA from the Drunk Tank, signing off. See ya.